students, now that we have some monoprints made, we're going to go ahead and put them into our sketchbooks. So I want you to select your 3 favorite monoprints. If you have more that you want to put in there, that's fine, but I'm going to be looking for 3. So go ahead and tape those or glue them into your sketchbook. If you have ones that are small and you want to fit multiple on one page, that's totally fine. Otherwise, 1 per page. So here is the monoprint that I used, that I created when I do my contour line drawing, and then I transferred it using ink. And now I want to go back into this image and add some detail. And you can do this in a lot of different ways. Let me show you what I have going on here. Okay. You can see I'm using colored pencil and I'm using a Sharpie, but you really can use any material that you want. Okay, you are not limited to that. You can collage on here, watercolor, as long as it's not too saturated with water, would be fine on here. This is not watercolor paper, so just know that if you use too much water, you will start to see the rippling effect from the paper buckling. The markers that you have would also be a great tool to use on here. So do not be afraid, again, to experiment with materials. This is not graded based on how it turns out, because again, we're developing our craft and we're just testing and experimenting, trial and error here. Notice that you can also use your markers in a watercolor effect. Because these markers are water-based, they can also be activated with water, very similar to watercolor. So if you drew with the marker and then went over it with water, it would give you a very similar effect to the watercolor. So think about different materials you can use. If you like collage, you can Mod Podge collage on there. My personal preference is Sharpie because I like hatching and line work, but that can be totally up to you how you want to address this. But I want you to use at least 2 different materials on this drawing in addition to your print. So for example, so far I've used colored pencil, I've used Sharpie, I've also used a marker, and I've used watercolor. So I have 4 that I've hit right there. So you need to use at least 2 different materials on this to create a mixed media piece of work.